Okay. Hey YouTube, welcome back again. So it's another day, another week, and yet another video. So now I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, but since Cloud9's, the Colossus team is not yet fully completed, I was hesitating. And also that DK reported earlier, I think so last week, that Floppy would be joining Cloud9, and I was waiting for the contract that Floppy was offered actually. So I was waiting for that move to happen. Earlier this week, I think so. Yeah, Floppy did join Cloud9 as per DK, and it's interesting because the contract that Floppy joined in Cloud9, the transition of him to Cloud9, with Henry G signing, helping him to sign the contract, obviously. So the contract that he signed is on par with the Messi's contract, salary-wise, of course. So, given that being said, I have seen a lot of speculations over Twitter as well as on Reddit that the salary that Floppy has been offered, given his star talent, is not particularly acceptable in the CS community, and many are negotiating, and many are even revolting. I will not say revolting. There's a disagreement between people and fans in the CSGO community that he is underpaid in this case for his transition to the role of being a star player in the C9 Colossus roster. Okay, so there are a couple of reasons I would like to put forth, because I do believe that the salary that Floppy is being offered in this case is very much acceptable and is quite right, to be honest. Now, why I feel right, again, there are some reasons that I would like to put forth in this video itself, later point. We could start it right away. So I think so. We are quite visible that the tournaments that Floppy did play for the older C9 roster, the former ATK roster, before they were a part of C9 as well. The Floppy had individual performances on a very higher level, right? But he did not achieve anything as part of a team, he did not win any tournaments. So if we see the tournament list that I have mentioned up here, starting from January, from the time they joined Cloud9 till the last date, they were competing as part of C9 roster, and these are all Floppy statistics as well. So if we go up from the IEM Katowice qualifiers, DreamHack Open Leipzig qualifiers, so the qualifiers and all earlier in the January when the teams were signed newly as part of C9 roster, I would say the team performed very well because they were quite unexpected and no one even prepared for them, to be honest, and they showed a pretty high level of skill ceiling, to be honest. We could see Floppy's best rating, individual ratings again. So IEM Katowice 2020 qualifiers is 1.35. He did a pretty good job there. And then Leipzig qualifiers, he did drop down a bit, but even though maintaining a rating over 1 is pretty good. Then moving on to Leipzig, then in main event of Leipzig, Katowice, and then so on until Flashpoint 1. I think so they did a pretty good showing in each of these tournaments, except for IEM Katowice being IEM Katowice as well as DreamHack Open Leipzig being the only 2 LAN tournaments that they have attended, which were a part of Europea, in which European team were also taking part. Other than that, I would say all the other events, starting from Flashpoint 1 till the end, even Flashpoint 1 was European, but it was played in the studio. It was online again, so I would not consider Flashpoint 1 to be the best result that C9 has right away. But yes, the qualifier C9, the older C9 roster and Floppy's team, obviously, they did perform very well. Moving on from as well as I said, from Flashpoint 1, everything was online. Flashpoint 1 placed 4th, in which Floppy had the best rating in the team overall, best average rating in the team overall. So yeah, not to mention that these ratings are best of 2. So whatever we are seeing again, this is the best of the abilities that we can see with Floppy and what we are expecting from him. Flashpoint 1.12 is the best in team for Flashpoint 1. He's got many best in the team ratings, given that he was the star player in their team as well until OC popped up out of nowhere. Then we went from ESL 1 Road to Rio. Blast Premier Showdown, they did not do at all, quite good. I think so Floppy was one of the only 2 players that had the rating of above 1. The rest all were pretty bad. I mean, obviously, they did not perform at all to the show, to the level. I think so the best, the best level that they did achieve was ESL 1 Road to Rio North American region. I think so this was one of the first, if not the first, Road to Rio qualifying events, and they did very well. Of course, they placed 3rd. Again, this was in North America only. I think so the first was EG, second Liquid, no, second was maybe Furia or 100 Thieves, and 3rd was them. So I don't quite clearly remember the order of the placings were, but yes, placing 3rd in that tournament. It was pretty stacked tournament, to be honest. EG and Furia were both looking very good, and to be placed in such a manner in the 3rd place is very good. And also again, 1.16 best in the team. So we could see right around until CS Summit 6 and the 2020, where after CS Summit 6 it was a player break, when the team and where all the tier 1 teams went into player breaks. So until CS Summit 6, the team did pretty good, with having decent amount of placements, decent placements in decent tournaments as well, and Floppy also being one of the best in the team overall rating wise. But again, moving on from that, the post-player break phenomenon, which we say, is from FunSpark Altai 2020 NA qualifiers till ESL Pro League Season 12 NA. The team did not do well at all. They were, to be honest, quite placed around the end. I think it's the last or last second in all of these events. As far as FunSpark Altai did not even qualify, so that's a bummer. Yeah, I mean, these are all the tournaments that C9, older C9 or the former ATK roster attended before the Colossus move happened. And to be honest, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I think so that the salary that Floppy has got right now is very deserving, and I don't think so it's not very undermining in any sort. See, these are all individual performances. They haven't had any team performances where they have won any event. Maybe if they would have won a team performance where they would have either won, maybe, let's say, suppose DreamHack Open Leipzig, then it would have been a different story. They would have had at least 1 title under their belt. Maybe they would have won Flashpoint 1. It would have increased his salary even more. So we can't say until the conditions that Floppy came under to sign the contract of transitioning to the C9 roster. Okay, with that being said, the current salary and the period of contract for Floppy in the new C9 roster is 432,000 over a period of 3 years. Now, 432,000, if you break it down, it's $144,000 a year, and 12,000, approximately 12,000 a month. So now we have seen a tweet. There is a tweet also by Henry G. He has mentioned that Floppy, from his last roster before transitioning to the new C9 roster, he has been given a raise. Now, I personally don't know the raise, nor does anyone in this scene except for the C9 members, C9 staff knows. So I'm assuming if the older C9 rosters, I know per player salary was 350,000 for a period of maybe 3 years, and they were cut short of the contract. So maybe we can know that 23.4% is the salary hike that he has got, given the industry standards, given the current industry standards in the COVID situation, as well as this is the best salary hike that I can imagine any player could get. So yeah, 23.4% hike brings exactly to 432,000. So yeah, it's a debatable. It's again a debatable scenario, right? We can't pinpoint the exact reason why Floppy has been given that kind of scenario. Again, as I said, I mean, it's we could derive some possibilities, given that he, as well as the older C9 roster, only faced European teams in only 2 tournaments, which is DreamHack Open Leipzig and IM Katowice, in which they did not do at all good. I mean, they were pretty much the last or last second placings in those 2 tournaments. But other than that, they have been placed. He has played primarily in the NA region. And to be honest, he has shown his best of his abilities in the NA region, but I don't think so he has done anything well or noticeable in the European region, which is a matter of fact one of the reasons I would say, presumably, if I was in place of Henry G, I would also have given Floppy the same kind of salary or contract salary that he has been given as of now. Yeah, I mean, it should not be a very comparable scenario where he's compared with Messi. Of course, Messi is an European player. He's from British. He's from Britain. Sorry, uh, where he has played match. Even though he has played tier 3, tier 4 teams primarily, and has not yet made himself visible to the tier 2 or tier 1 scene. I would say even tier 3 or tier 4 scene are much better than the tier 2 scene in the North America. Given the fact, as a matter of that, if we consider that to be the situation, I would say yes, Floppy is given the upper hand, where he has been offered much more higher salary. I mean, I think it's a $2,000 a month higher salary than Messi. If I would have been in Henry's place, I would of course give him this. I mean, around the same salary. I do believe that he deserves a couple thousand more salary, a couple thousand more dollars in his salary contract. It's just a beginning. Of course, given the COVID situation is also one of the major factors where I do believe C9 is in profit section right now. But even though we can't deny the fact that this is a tough situation for all organizations to put forth money, especially in CS, where we all know that CS is a losing market in terms of, losing millions of dollars on our team. So what can we learn from this? I think that it's not very necessary to judge a player by this contract that he gets. He has time to improve. He has 3 years to improve under the contract of C9 banner. And if he does do that, Henry G has again said that he would be keeping in check these performances put by Floppy as well as other members in the team. And based on the performances, if he's placed in top 20 in HLTV or anything comparable to an increase in salary, that is of course going to happen. Now, one more thing that we need to keep in mind is $432,000. This is excluding all the bonuses, the nitty-gritties of the salary that the contract might not have. He might even get raised. So if he performs well, in Flashpoint Season 2, which is upcoming in November, if he is the best rated player in the entire tournament, he might get even a bonus for that for being the best player in the tournament. So these are the things that we need to keep in mind before checking a player's salary and contract, whether he's deserving or not. And yeah, only time will tell whether he is deserving for the seat in the new C9 Colossus team. I personally am very excited for his journey in this new C9 roster, even though he is unproven in the European region. It's an exciting times. It's exciting times for the C9 community as well as the fans, because they're finally going to have a team that is contending for the top 5 placings in the world. So yeah, that's it from me today. I will be uploading this Excel file in the description, which will be in the description of the video down below. And yeah, I've also made a player profile analysis of Floppy, I think so, a week back. So if you have not seen that, please go back and hit that video and watch that video entirely, so you come to know what the player integrities are in that video. And yeah, please subscribe the channel. And if you are not new and if you are liking this video, please hit the like button too. So, and if you have any feedback to give as well, so please hit that comments below and let me know what your thoughts are and what video should I be putting in. Yeah, until next time, keep safe and hope you are doing well. That's it. Peace out.